What is going on, guys? Michael here, aka the Wolf of Wi-Fi Money, and today we are going to be going over how you can successfully start a profitable dropshipping business in 2019. We're going to be going over the exact steps you need to take in order to be successful, the exact steps I have taken to be successful building six-figure plus dropshipping stores. And let's just get right into it. I'll see you in the computer. How to successfully start a profitable dropshipping business in 2019. Let's get right into it, guys. So first of all, let's just go over the basics of what a lot of people might be feeling when getting into dropshipping if you're brand new to this, and a lot of people are younger, so this does apply to them. But first of all, any business requires risk, including dropshipping. Now, although dropshipping is a minimized risk because obviously you don't have to buy these products before they're sold, you really have to dive in and know that, okay, I'm going to allocate this certain amount of budget to my dropshipping business. This is the risk I'm going to take. And what I always say is, especially for most of my audience, which is younger, 18 to 22, 23, even that age range, right? You really don't have anything to lose at this age, right? What do you have to lose? A lot of people are living at home still. A lot of people, don't have to pay, electric bill, water bill, they don't have that many bills to pay because you're younger. So if you fail, you're not really going to be pushed too far back because you're already at the starting point. So this is the best time for anybody to really start any sort of business, whether that be drop shipping, whether that be SMMA, or whether it be an affiliate market, whatever it may be, Amazon FBA. This is the time to do it if you are young. So once we got that out of the way, let's get into actually creating your profitable dropshipping business. And that's going to start with finding that product. So how do we find that product? I've tried finding these products. I can't find them, Let's get into exactly how you do it, all right? Every niche can work and make you money. And that's an important thing to realize. Every single niche that you see, there is no niche that it doesn't work. Because if it didn't work, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see anybody using it. You wouldn't see anybody in it. Nobody would be in that niche. So do realize that. Now, are some harder than others? Yes. Are some easier than others? They can be. But all can work. So how do I find a product? The number one thing I say to people looking for these products, right, is find a product that solves a problem for somebody who's passionate about something. Simple formula. Find product that solves a problem for someone who is passionate about something that the problem solves. Super easy. So the number one reason that people buy things is they're passionate about something, and it may help solve a problem for something they're passionate about. You're blasting these new ideas into people's heads. You're blasting these, products into people who otherwise would have never bought them because, they're just on social media looking at their friends' posts and looking at people, with long necks, whatever they may be doing. That's what you're doing here. So click on any ad that you see while you're doing this, while you're scrolling on your feed for a product that are dropshipping. The reason why, and I still do this, is because Facebook now targets you into that engaged shopper target because you're clicking on all these ads, and Facebook will automatically keep pushing you these ads directly to you. And what these ads are other people's dropshipping products. So you can then see, those videos that you're seeing with 100,000 plus views on them, that's an ad. You can know that obviously this person is scaling this ad efficiently and making a ton of money off this product. What's stopping you from starting that product? Okay? So click on all these ads because winning products will find you if you continue to click on these ads. You don't even need to look for them. Just scroll through your Facebook, scroll through your Instagram, and just click on any single ad you see promoting a product that's dropshipped. That's something a lot of people don't do. I've always done it, and it can really help because these products are just pushed in your face because you know how to do them. A good quote that I've always heard of is, if you're looking for a yellow car, if it's on your mind, you'll find a yellow car. And it kind of applies to any business opportunity. If you're looking for a business opportunity, then you'll find one. But if you're not, then, how many yellow cars have you seen today? You don't know because you haven't kept track of it. So always keep track of all these products and think of each product as a potential business opportunity. So if you're launching a website, now this is a key thing for people who this may not be their first dropshipping website, but it may have done well in the past, a couple months ago, a year ago, whatever it may be. If you're launching a new website, try to remain in the same niche as your last one, because what you could do here is, rather than going through this entire testing process 100%, you can actually just upload a CSV file that you download from your last Shopify store of all your customers and upload that to build a lookalike audience right off the bat off of, old customer data. Even if this is only 100 customers, it will help when you're pushing these ads because you're letting Facebook know people that you're interested in targeting because they're relevant to this niche. Now, if you had a fishing store, outdoor store, and now you're moving into, electronic gadgets, I don't know how well, using a lookalike audience from that is really going to work. So I wouldn't recommend it for that. But if you're remaining in the same niche, I would definitely say to upload these customer files from your last store to your new one to help build that pixel data up, that new pixel data up. So let's get into ad testing. So you found that product and now you need to start doing the ads. And this is where everybody gets kind of stuck on, right? This is the part where everybody gets tripped up or think it doesn't work. Target worldwide at first. Exclude third world countries or just target those tier 1 countries. Now, what do I mean by tier 1? I mean those top English speaking countries who are relatively wealthy. So you're talking US, you're talking Canada, you're talking United Kingdom, you're talking Germany, you're talking France, you're talking Australia. What we're not going to ever target are countries such as India, countries such as China, excuse me, countries that aren't, I don't want to use a word that slanders them or anything, but just not wealthier English speaking countries. Simple as that. So what you're going to do is run 8 to 10 different ad sets with different interests to gather this data up front. A lot of people always ask, what type of ad? You can go right into purchase conversions if that's what you're looking for. It's not going to be that effective in the beginning, and you're not going to get a lot of link clicks because it's going to be a little bit more expensive. You can also start with just a traffic campaign. And what this is going to do is you're going to get a lot more clicks, but you want to make sure you're only targeting tier 1 when you're doing these traffic campaigns. Because if you're just doing worldwide and not excluding any third world countries, yeah, you'll get 2-cent link clicks most of the time. But they're going to be people that have zero interest in buying your store. You're better off advertising to animals, and they can't buy it. So make sure that you're running 8 to 10 different ad sets, different interests, gather that data, and use that to push forward. So the first thing I like to do with a product is, once I've gathered a great amount of data and I can check this on my pixel, is I can begin to run lookalike audiences on people who have viewed the content. Do a 1 to 5%, 1 through 6%, just on the people who have viewed the content. This kind of gets rid of the burden of trying to think of new audiences to tap into and interests, because you're just running a lookalike audience on, the 1% of people who have clicked on your ad before, and it might be a better group of people than just randomly targeting, engaged shoppers and people interested in fishing, right? So what you're going to do is move down the pipeline here. Then you're going to create a lookalike audience for people who have added to cart, and then eventually you're going to create a lookalike audience for people who have purchased. Now, I don't recommend creating a lookalike audience for people who have purchased unless you are getting about 50 purchases per week or have over 100 plus purchases on your pixel. Otherwise, they're really not that effective. So definitely move down the pipeline with lookalike audiences, and we're also going to talk about how you can scale it. So now you're getting these purchases. You found what interests are working for you. Now you want to scale because you want to see that money, right? You want to make a lot of money. That's what we're all here for. So scaling is a common misconception because a lot of people think it's as easy as just raising a budget. If you have a $15 a day budget and you're getting, 2 sales per day, you're doing really well. Now you want to just say, okay, so let me just raise this to $50 and I should be doing, 5 times what I'm already doing. No, it doesn't work that way, because what happens is that, especially on a already given ad set, I never recommend, just raising this budget tremendously because it screws up Facebook's flow, right? It knows every day based on your budget how to push it, what times to push it to exactly, how kind of throttling your ads to get the results that you need. Now, if you just raise this budget automatically on these ads, Facebook kind of doesn't know what to do. So it just reaches out to whoever to spend this budget because obviously it wants to spend your budget. So you definitely cannot just raise a budget and expect for it to work. So it's kind of more of an art. So how do you exactly scale then if you can't just raise the budget? Test out duplicating and doubling budgets slowly. So what I'll do is if you have just to make it simple is if you have a $10 a day budget, you duplicate it to 20. If it's still working after 3 days, now I'll duplicate this to 40. Now, if it's not really working at 40, I'll just cut it in half of the last duplicated, bring that down to $30. If it's working at 30, then I'll bring it back up to 45, and we'll slowly be duplicating and doubling and then bringing back, and you find that optimal amount of daily budget per day on a given ad set to give the best result, the best return on ad spend, et cetera, et cetera. So also constantly be testing new interests, constantly be testing. There's no reason to, kind of just stop testing once you get to this point. Actually, you should be testing because you'll have a larger budget to test with, tap into new audiences, bring new data onto your pixel, and use those customer lists that you now have with these purchases to build lookalike audiences on lifetime value of these customers. Who spends the most? Use this customer list wisely because you could actually use this to your great benefit. And what I have personally found is actually uploading the customer lists and inputting it works far better than actually just going off of the Facebook's pixel. So definitely utilize that with scaling. Your lookalike audiences are going to be your best friend when you're scaling to 1K plus per day. And last but not least, you need to be able to handle this scale, right? Because a lot of people scale and they don't have their back end set up and they end up in a disaster, their payments get shut down and whatnot. And it's just, you don't know what to do. So communicate with your supplier beforehand. See if you can send them a CSV file every day of all your orders, and you can just download this from Shopify. It's super easy, and you could just send it to them once a day, and they could fulfill the orders that way. So you move away from just using AliExpress to manually fulfill these orders, whether it be through Oberlo or hiring a VA to fulfill an order. So definitely do that. It makes things a lot easier, especially when you're getting 200-300 orders per day. And get a VA to handle your customer service if you cannot. Make sure that you're handling these customer complaints, these customers' questions, because you don't want these customers, being upset with you, filing disputes with PayPal. That's how you get accounts put on hold. You want to build a long-term business. And by adding customer service, you're going to see an increase in your returning customers rates because people rather shop places they have already shopped at before and have good customer service, good products, etc. So it's all about bringing this value to the customer at the end of the day. Make sure you're handling that. And that is pretty much a